What's up, everybody? I'm back, and I'm still on my division picks. Now today, I'm gonna do both divisions of the South. So today we're gonna get started with the AFC South. And the AFC South, I'm calling it the return of the injured stars. Now let's get started with my number one team to win this division this year, and that is gonna be the Jacksonville Jaguars, the reigning AFC South champions from last year, who lost in the AFC Championship game to the New England Patriots, and they blew a fourth quarter lead where they just collapsed everybody from the defense to the offense. Now, they re-signed Blake Bortles to a 2-year extension. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's below average, but hey, they trust in him. And I don't think if he gets them anywhere this year that they're going to do anything, and I think they need to start finding a backup plan for him. Now, they have a stud running back they drafted last year, Leonard Fournette, who rushed for 1,000 yards last year. He also had a solid O-line, and they also added Andrew Norwell, the former guard from the Carolina Panthers, via free agency. Now, that's going to be a huge boost to them. So hopefully Blake Bortles can get that run game going again, get this play-action pass going again like he did. He lost Allen Robinson to the Bears, lost Allen Hurns to the Cowboys, but they also have the emergence of Marquise Lee and these young receivers that they've been drafting over the few years, and they added Austin Safari Jenkins. And now let's get to the biggest point of why I think they'll win this division, and that is defense. This defense is elite. They got the best, I think, starting corner tandems in the league with A.J. Boye and Jalen Ramsey. They also got Barry Church at safety. They also got Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson, and Ngakoue. Let's get it. Their defense is elite. Their defense is just, I don't know what to say about it. Tough, physical, fast. And they also got the leader in the middle linebacker spot, Telvin Smith. This defense is elite and it's going to carry them this year too as well, I think. But I think the offense will be improved. But if anything, I think it's going through this defense, and I think they can get the job done. Now, getting back to the AFC Championship game, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one just because this division is going to be a lot harder than it was for them last year. So we'll see what the Jacksonville Jaguars can do. But I'm picking them to win this division again, going 10-6. Now let's go to my number 2 team. And this team, it goes where Deshaun Watson goes. The former first-round pick last year, a lot of teams passed on and regretted and will still regret. He tore his ACL in the middle of the season where he was on a tear, throwing touchdowns after touchdowns. Even I remember that game, even where they lost in Seattle, he went up there and was lighting them up. Now, they have some speedsters on the outside and Will Fuller, and they also have the elite DeAndre Hopkins, who's a top 5 receiver. And you see what happens when he gets great quarterback play. He can be as good because years before he had Brock Osweiler, T.J. Yates, Brian Hoyer, just terrible. Now, I do have a question about the Titans. No, they have Ryan Griffin, that's about it. C.J. Fedora, which has been injured. And they also have Lamar Miller, I think will have a bounce-back year. Deontay Foreman's a little injured, so I don't know yet. But let's hop to the defensive side of the ball. They're getting injured stars back as well, too. They lost Whitney Merciless last year. They lost the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt, last year, too. Also, their first-round pick a few years ago out of Wake Forest, Kevin Johnson. Now, they're going to be all healthy and improved, and I think the defense is going to take a step up, a notch up. Not as good as Jacksonville, but there. And they're getting Romeo Cornell to run the defense again, as he took a step back because Mike Bravel was previously before he took this head coaching job this year in Tennessee. Now, they will be good. Don't forget, 2 safeties they added. A pick out of Stanford, Justin Reeves, is a smart guy. Anybody who goes to Stanford, you know they can ball for sure. Now, we also got the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, who the Cardinals cut because he didn't want to take a pay adjustment, which I don't blame him. He's going to come in and fit right along well in Houston. Their defense is going to be well and improved, and they're going to have a lot to say about this division. As long as Deshaun Watson stays healthy, I see them making a lot of noise in this division. They could easily win a division, I think. Well, even though I'm picking them to finish 9-7, but we'll see how things go. So if they win a division, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still rocking with Jacksonville. But with that being said, let's see what Houston does, and can they show out, and can DW4 have a bounce-back year? I think he will. I think he'll show the league, even after watching tape. This guy's a superstar quarterback, and teams in the previous draft class, especially Cleveland, will be mad that they passed on him. But with that said, I'm picking them to finish 9-7 in this division. Now let's go on to my number 3 team. This team last year shocked a lot of people. They didn't win a division, but they still made the wild card. They went into Arrowhead Stadium and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, coming back from 16 points down. And that is the Tennessee Titans. Now, my boy Marcus Mariota, who I've been a huge fan of since his playing days at Oregon, needs to improve his game tremendously. He needs to stay healthy as he hasn't been throughout the years. Hamstring injuries, knee injuries have been bothering him. The line's been getting better and protecting him. Tennessee's been building up since he's got there. But he has to make this next leap forward. He threw 13 touchdowns last year and to 15 interceptions. His completion percentage was a little over 60%, which is solid. But them turnovers got to cut down. The interceptions, the fumbles, and that's where the play of the wide receiver they drafted last year out of Western Michigan, Corey Davis, has to come into play. He has to play big. He was injured last year, and it finally caught on, but it was slow. And I think he'll have a good year. And they have Rashard Matthews on the other side who needs some help. And they also have the reliable, one of the most underrated players in the league, and that is Delanie Walker. That man is a monster. Third down, where do you think Marcus Mariota was going to? That man. He was the go-to guy when they went in and got that W in Kansas City, in the playoffs, in the freezing weather when nobody thought they could do it. Now, he's 33 years old, but they just signed him to a 2-year contract extension. And by the way, too, the Titans just re-signed their star left tackle, Taylor Lewan, to a huge extension with $50 million guaranteed, the highest ever for an offensive lineman, which is good. Let him play big. And now, let's go to the defensive side of the ball, where they got a tremendous secondary. They added Malcolm Butler previously for New England Patriots, which everybody knows about, where he didn't play in the Super Bowl against the Eagles for whatever reasons Bill Belichick never specified, and it's always been an issue in their locker room. And we'll never know the reason, honestly. But he's gone from that situation. He's in a good place now in Tennessee, and he can go alongside Logan Ryan, who previously last season who was playing for the Patriots, or acquired from the Patriots via free agency, but now he's on there. They also have Kevin Byard going into his third year, who was an All-Pro last year, and they still have coming into his second year, Adoree Jackson, former first-round pick out of USC. So they're much improved secondary-wise. D-line, they got Jarrell Casey. They'll be much improved and ready to go. But with that said, they're taking a step back just because of Houston's back. Jacksonville's still playing good. So I'm picking Tennessee to finish 8-8. Now, let's go to my last place team in this division, which is the Indianapolis Colts. They are finally getting Andrew Luck back. He hasn't played a meaningful snap since January of 2017. He missed all of last season with the previously from the shoulder, the torn labrum in his shoulder. Now, can he come back and be the Andrew Luck of old? I'm thinking so. But even with that said, I still think the pieces and parts around him are not good enough yet. They drafted Braden Smith and Quentin Nelson, previously of Auburn and Notre Dame, at the guard spots because he needs some help. Lord knows Andrew Luck needs some help. He had a lacerated kidney 2 years ago. He's been beat up. That line, I know they got Jack Muirheart, but Anthony Costanzo, but they need to improve tremendously to help him out so he can stay healthy, because he can't be running around for his life and fighting and being healthy, because without him, they're nothing. He got him to the playoffs his first few seasons, but the last 2 years he's been banged up with injuries and not ready to go. And previous GM Ryan Grigson was a terrible GM, and Jim Irsay is just an idiot in my opinion and doesn't know how to run a franchise. So that front office was a mess, and now they finally got a new coach, and Frank Wright. It was supposed to be Josh McDaniels, but he backed out at the last minute, and they also got a new GM as well. So I think they're on the up and coming, but I don't think they're ready yet. They did some good things in the draft, but they're just not ready yet. They added Eric Brown from the Titans, which we'll see what he does. They've got Marlon Mack, who they drafted last year. I think is going to be okay. They also drafted Jordan Wilkins out of Ole Miss, but they'll be a little improved on the offense, and Andrew Luck is good enough for a couple extra wins. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball, where they drafted Malik Hooker from last year, which he was good at Ohio State, and he'll be good this year. But he's got to stay healthy. They also had Quincy Wilson last year, a disappointing season, and stayed injured last year as well. I'm just not as high as on the Colts as everybody else is. They'll make an improvement. I'm picking them to finish 7-9 just because of the Andrew Luck factor, and this is barring that he stays healthy. So they got a few years to go. They got to keep building talent, but they're well behind the three previous teams in this division who are ready to win right now. But this division will, I guarantee you, be the most improved division in football. No questions about it. This is going to be a grind-out, tough division, and I'm looking forward to watching it. So that's all I got for this division, guys. Leave your comments under the video. And don't forget, again, subscribe.